Welcome to Evilive. Live media commentary show. This is a question. Why does this week's elimination hurt so much?
Yeah. Fuck this week.
Man. Subscribe if you're new to the channel because today we are reviewing The Great British Baking Show, Collection 12, Episode 6, Autumn. I'm getting tired of these shit intros. I feel like they should work a little harder on their intros.
Yeah, man, that's the only thing that's really been lacking this season. Like, they changed it up enough to where the signature or the technical, they do new shit. Yeah, those intros have been pretty bad.
Yeah, this one in particular, like the whole wardrobe and pushing it over, I don't know. It's just like...
I had no idea what was going on.
They mailed it in, and I didn't like it. So what were your initial thoughts of this episode?
A lot of confusion.
Really?
Like, I don't know why some of these people are still on here.
I'm stunned, and we'll get to it, but I'm stunned that the two that were on the bottom were on the bottom, and I'm stunned at who went home.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly surprised by what, came out of this episode, but still, like, I didn't want it, and I'm not happy about it, especially the way that she reacted to it. She deserves to be on this fucking show.
Yeah, man. Like, they should have just called it and let her win the series. Like, I have never seen anybody in this show to date with that much grace and just dignity about everything. Yeah, it was rough.
She's a good human, and there are so few of us.
Yeah.
I say us, meaning I'm human, but I'm not one of the good ones.
I fucking love you. But I feel like we're probably not right up there with her.
Yeah, 100%.
Not quite.
No shame.
Like, we're good people.
Yeah. We try.
Not quite that good.
Kind of. Sometimes. All right, so this is a food baking competition. There's 3 challenges, and basically you're ranked. And if you do well in this 1 week, then you move on. If you do not do well in this 1 week, then you do not move on. And that is what we've seen over and over again. And that's where we see so many upsets with amazing bakers eating shit for 1 week, or maybe just 2 challenges, and then they fly the coop, never to be seen again. Yeah. And that is what's so great about this show, because you never fucking know.
Dude, and it's just, again, it just stands. I swear, there's always a swing as soon as it hits the second half of the season.
Yeah, every time.
It's just fucking stupid.
Hey, Chris, I'm upset about this season, this episode, I mean. Let us know what you think. And if you don't have an opinion, then I'm going to castrate you. That's the only option. It's no balls. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. If you're done having kids, maybe it doesn't matter. But in either case, I'll keep them in a jar on my shelf behind me with the other balls. All right. Signature. This is... The theme is autumn, which, again, is new. I don't think they've done an autumn, have they? They've done a couple new things this season. And this is just one of the, like, whole new category. And look, this is our wheelhouse. This is home for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I fucking hated this challenge so goddamn much because I can just look at a fucking pumpkin pie filling and know if it's too thin or not. Like, if they fucked up, no amount of baking was going to fix some of that shit. And it's just like, what is wrong with you people?
Yeah. Mad respect to Samaya for going to butternut squash, because that's what commercially... Like, for those of you who are, like, cheaters and buy pumpkin pulp in a can... That's actually squash. That's butternut squash. That's not.
Yeah, the vast majority of it is butternut squash, specifically.
She went the safe route that way, which was smart, because if you don't use a sugar pumpkin, then you will have an excess of moisture and water in the pumpkin. And you can still make do with a regular pumpkin, but you just have to accommodate for the excess moisture.
Yeah, it's a lot of fucking work.
For example, today, I roasted 2 sugar pumpkins and 1 normal small pumpkin, and roasted them, scooped them out, made pumpkin pulp, and made some pumpkin muffins, which are dope as fuck.
Hell yeah.
My daughter didn't like them.
Fucking terrorist. Probably just because you made them.
In the making. But, like, they're delicious, and they're wonderful, and they're delightful, and they're pumpkin. But the difference between the 2 sugar pumpkins and the normal pumpkin are night and day. And I've made pies with both, and I've made pies mixed, and I've made pies pure sugar, and it is significantly different. You have to know that difference, and you have to accommodate or else. And the or else means the difference between something good and something fucking gross.
100%. That is why, personal recommendation, if you're going to experiment with pumpkin and you're a brewer, experiment with your booze first.
Yeah.
Because then you'll get to understand the consistency, the fibrous nature of the different gourds that you're using. Like that's my plan for next year, because I'm gonna hit it hard with growing some blue dolls, since this summer fucking sucked and I lost everything.
You lost everything?
Everything. I had one blue doll get almost to the point of maturity. Like, I couldn't use the pumpkin itself. Which these were $20 fucking seeds, mind you.
Dude,
I was
rough.
pissed. But yeah, so I had one pumpkin that was just shy of maturity, but it was mature enough that though I couldn't use the flesh, the seeds had full germs in them. And I got about half of what I would usually need for a garden. So fingers crossed. Although I don't feel bad that it's not just me. Sorry, this is a complete aside, but you guys get to hear my pumpkin journey for the year. There's a corn maze that we go to each year, farm down in our area. And that's where I usually get my blue dolls from. And we got there, we did our thing. We're getting ready to leave. So we grab our pumpkins and shit to carve. And I go up to the lady, I'm like, hey man, where's your blue dolls? She just looks at me. She's like, they all got eaten this year. We didn't get anything. And it's like, okay, so it wasn't just me, because I was fucked with ants, and I actually paid like a proper pest control service to come out, and apparently they had the same fucking issue that I did. So I was like, okay, cool, it's not just me. But it's stupid. Yeah. So there's some stuff about pumpkins you guys didn't need to know, but you're welcome.
Well, I want to add on to that. This year was the second worst year. Last year was the worst year of pumpkins for me. This is the second worst, but we did get 2 sugar pumpkins and 1 typical pumpkin. We try to do both so that we can carve some up. Unfortunately, it just didn't pan out this year, but I do have pumpkin pulp, so I can make at least 2 batches of pies and some cheesecake bars, which I will share with you, and they'll be amazing, and we will equally come in unison to delicious pumpkin cheesecake bars.
If you guys are lucky, maybe we'll record it.
I will not be that would be our OnlyFans that we'll have to start. That no one will watch. This feels like, I can't believe we took all that time to get those close-up slow-mo shots. No one. I had to clean my camera like 20 minutes it took to get all it off. No, this was rough, because autumn is like, and again, I don't know if this is a States versus UK thing, if it's just like a sensibility thing, but we even saw, like, Dylan was like, I don't even like autumn. It's boring. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, that is the reason I wanted him to go home this episode.
I could not believe he said that. And then he shit the bed in a couple of bakes. And so that kind of made me feel better. But what the fuck?
Yeah, man.
If you're a kid, it's the greatest time of the year. If you're an adult, then you live vicariously through kids, and it's the greatest time of the year. If you're an adult with no kids anywhere near you, you still have amazing things to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Greatest time of the year. So I don't understand it. And it was kind of funny to see that a lot of them did opt to go for traditional shit like apple pies, pumpkin pies, and stuff like that. And it's like, that seems very outside of like what I imagine they would do, especially like the pumpkin and pecan pie. Yeah, that is American as fuck.
Sounds delicious.
Like, yeah, absolutely. It looked great too. It was a little overbaked. Actually, a lot of overbaked. A couple of
these were,
I still would have.
They were cracked, and here's the deal. Like, I don't mind a crack. I don't mind a little bit. First of all of the signature autumn pie bakes, they looked pretty goddamn good. Some were a little more underbaked than others. Some were a little more cracked than others, but they looked fucking great. Now, I have made an insane amount of pies in my day. I've never made pies like this. Like, they went, well, some of them went all out with their fucking pies. I got a problem with Ilian and her cheat sheet lattice work mold that she tried to pull on her fucking pumpkin pie. Or not.
Dude, I don't
fruit pie.
Fucking understand that.
How do you not know how to lattice? It's over under, for fuck's sake.
It's so easy. Like, and it would take less time to do that by hand and make it look beautiful
Yeah.
than
They're
to do
fighting.
that. Plus, that was like a thick fucking top
It's
crust.
ridiculous.
Like,
It's
that
just
was insane.
fucking-
Like, I mean, I like a good flaky crust just as much as the next guy, but there's a proper ratio there. And I just feel like that would have been just entirely too gummy and stuff on the inside.
Yeah. The crust is supposed to be an accent to the filling. That's the entirety of the purpose. And ultimately, if we're thinking about pies, the real reason is to preserve the insides so that you can, enjoy it longer in the season. This is a very autumn focused bake. And, we think of pies as like, oh, it's American as apple pie. We don't really think
Which
about...
is ironic because that's not even very American.
Well,
we can thank the Chinese
what
for that.
is? I mean, if we're going to be...
But
going down
pumpkin
that
pie.
path. Really?
Pumpkin pie. Pumpkins originated here, dude.
I mean, everything originated here. Tobacco.
Tobacco, tomatoes, shit like that. But yeah, like the
Corn.
traditional like American thing is apple pie, and it's like, no, we got that from the fucking Chinese, dude.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah.
They were taking over the world before we even got a chance.
I mean, if you know what you're doing, you can do it for a long ass time.
In either case, it's you've harvested all your garden. You have a bunch of food that's going to spoil within like a week and a half, 2 weeks. The only way to preserve it is to make a bunch of fucking pies to seal in that whatever it is, whether it's food or fruit or veggies or whatever. And that's what pies are for. That's the whole purpose. I mean, if you're not going to jar, then, jarring is long-term throughout the winter. Pies are short-term throughout a month or two. And so that's what it's all about. And if you understand that, then you know that there's like some real skill that goes into making a pie that's, suitable and a pie that's fucking amazing and delicious. And that the difference between those is black and white unless you've actually done it. And to see the amount of flourish, I'll say, that they put on top of these is beautiful, but it would never actually, like, you would... To what your point about like gumminess and stuff, too much dough is the Achilles heel of a good pie. And that's all they're doing on the top because they want to showcase design and art. And as much as I loved Nellie's little owl, which I did fucking love her little owl, too much dough. It's just too much. And the consequence of that is a soggy bottom, worst case scenario. I mean, we've all been there, had too much to drink. But also, uncooked innards, which we saw also. Like, it's almost as if they don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they're on a show about baking.
Right. That was the thing that got me with this. Like, I mean, specifically, it was Dylan. Ambitious, yes. Good idea, probably not. But it's like they put so much time and effort into their crust that they didn't really consider the filling. And it's like, I get it. Like, you want it to be visually appealing, but at the same time, man, at the end of the day, it's fucking crust. It's not that goddamn difficult to add a little bit of a flourish to it, like focus on the pie itself.
And he chose a rough puff pastry.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like,
pull it off.
Dude, you have the same amount of time as everybody else. And quite frankly, you're not Samaya. I don't think you could pull it off. And he didn't.
Yeah. And he shit the bed twice in this show, which is like, why the fuck did we lose Nellie? Goddamn.
Actually, he shit the bed the entirety of the show.
Yeah.
Like, even with technical, he was damn near the bottom.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Chris. Gross. That sounds... Three burger patties with donuts.
I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum because I'm a fat ass. I would fucking do that shit.
That equals heartburn for me. Like, I can't.
Oh, well, yeah, no shit. Of course. Idea. Like, it's because you're human. Like, that would fucking destroy me. I'd probably be fucked up for a couple of days. Like, multiple reasons. Yeah. But I'd still fucking do it because, USA.
Yeah. I mean, I've made my bad choices. We went to brunch and then a Renaissance fair dressed as kilted pirates, and I decided the guy who's prone to heartburn to order fried chicken and fucking Bloody Mary, which just set me on fire all goddamn day.
Yep.
The worst choice ever. The only thing that would have made it worse was to be ordering like a side of like massive cock in my ass. It would have just put me over the edge. Thankfully.
We weren't quite that point yet. A couple more drinks, maybe.
It was in the mail. We just didn't quite get it. Delivery was off. I was upset by, well, I'm always upset by Christian, but I've rounded a corner. I accept him for who he is and his talent in baking. However, his signature pissed me the fuck off because it looked a goddamn amazing. And they were like, this is amazing. And Prue's like, but your pumpkin pie is runny. It's not done, which means you didn't fucking bake it long enough. And then Paul was giving him accolades. And then Noel was just like, no one said a bad thing. And I'm screaming at the TV, standing up, jumping up and down. It's under fucking baked!
Yeah,
Did you not hear?
God damn it. As soon as they cut it and that shit started falling, it's like, you motherfucker. In my neck of the woods, you'd get your ass beat over that shit.
It sounded amazing.
Yeah, no, it was great on paper, but yeah, that easily needed another like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Minimum.
And that's like, but that's like the difference between a handshake and a win and just like mediocre sliding through. Like that's where we're at in this competition. No one is a shitty baker here. There's people that we may not like or we may like more than others, but they all know what they're doing. Supposedly.
Yeah.
Let's get into the technical. I mean, I don't know. Are there any signatures you want to bring out to pie? To pie.
No, I mean, not really. I mean, it's.
I wanted to taste Jill's, dude. That blackberry and apple.
Yeah, dude.
That looks so fucking good to me.
Like Jill's a fucking boss,
oh,
man.
goddamn.
Yeah,
all these signatures look good to me.
Yeah, I mean, they all looked great, and I'd eat any single one of them. But yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for pumpkin pie, and I'm a sucker for pecan pie. So, yeah, Georgie and Samaya's this. Fuck yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about these technical, because this was ultimately a vegan parkin, which I assume is a gingerbread brownie. I don't.
That's what it seems like a gingerbread
cake?
cake of some sort. Yeah, it is a cake.
Okay.
And traditionally made with oatmeal and black treacle, whatever.
Yeah, no, that's a thing.
Yeah,
that's
fucking
definitely a thing.
the British.
I mean, it's supposed to be like ginger and stuff, but Jill was just like, "This is my house, bitches."
Yeah, man, she's like losing her shit, and then she fucking lost.
Yeah.
But that was fucking hilarious.
It was rough.
That should have sent her home, but I think the way that she played that off, everybody was just laughing their asses off. So it was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, it's like if I'm ever in a show and they hand me a challenge that's like my wheelhouse, I will never say a fucking word. Ever. Because you know you're going to shit the bed in that challenge.
Yeah.
So just don't say shit.
The funny thing is that seems to be like a pretty common thread. Like a lot of people make mistakes when baking stuff because they forget fucking leavening agents. Like I had to discuss the fry bread, like why somebody was doing it wrong. I mean, other than the fact that they're white, but it's like
that's fucked up.
It's like, dude, you're not. Hey, just saying. But yeah, it's the fucking baking soda, man. It's always the leavening agent. If you don't put a leavening agent in, it's fucked. You're gonna have a disc of bleh. Whatever the fuck it is.
That's what I give my wife every night. A disc of
hell yeah. She just needs to start throwing baking soda on it first, or baking powder, like, one of the two.
Instant. It's like
my God,
science experiment. Yeah. Doesn't help that I'm fixed either. It's sort of just like a ghost. It's very Halloween-y. I mean, it's like Gandalf walking through Galt. I was just watching this. I decided since I read The Hobbit, I have to watch the films and critique the films. And I'm like in my head and verbally, to my wife's dismay, talking about all the stuff that was not or done incorrectly, but I still love the fucking films no matter what. And how they actually like make the story actually better. And part of it was the Necromancer, of course, Sauron. Anyway, I guess my point was throwing baking soda on Sauron would make him better. I don't know where I was going with this, but that's where we are. Those are great films. Great films.
Yeah,
they have their
absolutely.
problems. They clearly have their fucking problems, both digitally and narratively. But you know what? It's still good.
Yeah.
In any case, Parkins. I want to eat one. I don't know how to make one. And they all seem to not know how to make one, even the person that said they knew how to make one. And I don't understand the difference between saying that it's a vegan versus non-vegan when you're like,
Well,
The point of
especially
an
because
egg is
it's
to raise it. You don't use eggs. You have to use baking soda.
yeah.
You
Well,
have
and
it in your hand.
traditionally, like it's a vegan fucking. Oh wait, no, sorry. Traditionally, it would have lard or butter in it. So I guess that's not vegan.
Lard and butter is good.
Well, I mean, lard's really good because it's
It's all good.
flavor and it's much easier to digest than butter and stuff.
I would like some lard, please.
Hell yeah.
Right now. Shauna, bring me lard. She just comes with a big plate of lard. Here you are, husband. Enjoy.
Here
Just
is your refined pork product.
Yeah, I was surprised by this because Ilian, who, she gave an effort. I thought her autumnal pie looked pretty good. It just didn't end up working out for her. She ended up fucking winning. Like, she kind of shit the bed because it was underbaked and stuff. In the technical, she won. She, totally flip-flopped. And equally, Christiane rocked it with his Forest Canoe pie, but then came back, and he was the last one. Like, he fucking totally lost it. So this was like a total
Well, Jill was
shift.
the worst.
Oh, yeah, math.
Yeah, Jill was 7th, and that's why it was funny.
Okay.
But yeah, Christian, was... I mean, quite frankly, he was worse because he didn't make us laugh when he lost. But yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, what the fuck are these people doing? Like, how can you not? This is clearly a cook of your island. Like, this isn't like a shock or a surprise. Like, and there was a lot of people that are like, I don't know what a fucking pumpkin is. And fucking Jill was just like, I've got this, bitches. And she shit the bed.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty damn funny.
All right. Well, you know what? Georgie, her pumpkin, we got to talk quickly about her pumpkin and pecan pie because she overspiced.
Oh yeah, that's right. She made
What
it
the
good,
fuck?
and the British people acted British as fuck. Oh, seasoning. Ugh.
What
What
is
is
this
this?
flavor I'm tasting?
We
I'm-
conquered the entire world for your spices just to not like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that shit was hilarious. She's like, I mean, fuck, that's how I usually make it. I like it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish, because we got that scene of everybody kind of trying their pies and stuff. Like, I would have loved to have got everybody else's opinion on the pies versus the two old white British people.
100%. I mean, they're bakers, so I have to assume they know spice levels and appreciate stuff like that. They've been doing this show for fucking eternity. But even Samaya did her stupid ass voice reference of, they didn't say I was over spice, blah, as she speaks normally.
Yeah.
I noticed this week, I never noticed this before. She has this metal tooth bridge thing.
Yeah, looks like she had braces but never got everything off.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
UK. Do you guys not have toothpaste? Is that not a thing?
They're still trying to figure out oral hygiene there.
I get it. You floss, you brush your teeth, they don't fall out. That's literally all you got to do. That's math. Floss, brush your teeth, they stay in. Come on. Come on, UK. You were fucking rulers of the world. You can't figure this shit out? Fuck's sake.
That's why they fell.
That's why they failed their oral hygiene. It was their breath, and then their teeth fell out, and they were just embarrassed, and they ran home.
Mm-hmm. I believe
Fuck you guys. You should have brushed your goddamn teeth by now. Let's talk about some showstoppers, because this is where it got real interesting for me. I thought visually some of them were better than others, but I thought they all did a really solid job. They had a theme, they executed it decent to fair. Samaya, I don't know what the fuck this girl's doing, but she just knocked it out of the goddamn park. Mm-hmm. And I hate her for it.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me. It's I want to not like her because she's a cunt, seems like. Especially the Noel shit. It's quit being a fucking bitch to Noel.
Oh my gosh.
That's like picking on the special kid in class. Don't fucking do that. You're just an asshole. Even if you don't like him, you just keep that shit to yourself.
How can you not like Noel?
Exactly.
He's hilarious.
Yeah. So, yeah, I did like how he flipped it on her, though, and just, made a joke and was like, I mean, blah, 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 and just runs away.
They were both they're each of their hyperactive energy was contrasting, two negatives are pushing each other apart or something. And she was just like, nah, I'm stupid, bah. I assume that's what she says.
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
can't
sure that's what she
understand
said.
But for some fucking reason, she made this goddamn glorious cake that was like, I didn't like, if you're going to do like a fence thing, which I really dug, I didn't like how it was sticking halfway up from the first layer to the second layer with so much open air. Of course, it's going to break off, and it's chocolate work. It's going to fall apart once the room temperature hits. So I thought that was like a sort of mediocre move, but apparently the judges loved it. And in either case,
it looked good, but it's like,
in either case,
structurally
it
speaking,
great. And the flowers, for fuck's sake, that she made, god damn it! And the flavors that she put out there with her harvest cake, I mean, hats off. She did it.
Dude,
she earned it.
That's the thing. Like, the fact that she put cumin in a cake.
That's balls.
That's, like, biggest fucking balls in the world. Like, I love cumin, but that is a very savory spice. Like, that's something you throw in, like, you fry up some onions with it, and then you make like fucking stew or chili or tacos. Like, that's a hearty, heavy, like oppressive spice. So good on her, man.
Taco right now.
Yeah.
Fucking murder someone for a taco. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think maybe she's like a silent genius. Like, she's
gotta be
fucking annoying as shit, but god damn it, is she good? It's like Christian. He's annoying as fuck, but he's fucking good at what he does. Ugh. So
yeah, well, it's just crazy too, because so much of the shit she doesn't like.
Yeah,
or
that's the worst part. She makes these delicious things that she hates. What the fuck?
But I will say, man, like, she didn't fuck around when it came to the ingredients that they're using, because of course they had to use one root vegetable, and she's just like, one?
Yeah.
Why not all? And it's like, dude, that's a lot of shit going together. Let's see how this works out. But yeah, I fucking good on her.
Fucking worked, man. I do want to talk about the Roots of Samhain cake with Christiane, because I did not like the look of the cake, but I loved the concept of the cake. He was doing these sort of sugar stained glass panoramas, and one of them at least had like a candle behind it to illuminate the sugar work and the stained glass effect. And that's brilliant. Like, you don't just walk in to a show and be like, I'm going to fucking do this shit. Like, you have to have confidence that you can pull this shit off.
Yeah.
And I thought it was too black. It was too heavy for a cake. I mean, for like a table piece, I think it would have been very interesting and very cool. Maybe a little bit of brass, sort of polished brass work around the outside edges or something. So it felt sort of antique-y, but
yeah, that's I'll agree with you on that. I thought it was missing that. Like, I love the stark blackness of it, but just like a little bit of almost like bronzing dust on the edges, or just here and there to give it a little bit of texture. Yeah, I would have made it.
Because once you compare and contrast that to Illian's with the color and texture work that she was doing,
that was fucking amazing.
Wow. I mean, she was just, first of all, she dropped the ball by not decorating the skulls. It's Day of the Dead that she's going for, and she doesn't do the skulls. That's the whole Day of the Dead thing.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck? But her cake was beautiful. Like, it just looks so goddamn good. And Dylan, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Dude, right? And that's the thing. It's like, if you're going to do marbling, that's fucking wicked easy. Like, you get your white, and then you do little drops of gray and black, and then you just fucking smooth it out. Like, it's not that complicated. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going for marble," and it's like, okay, cool, but don't call it a fucking Diwali cake, because I don't know if you know anything about the Hindu religion and just the culture in general. There's a lot of fucking color.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
like, you're throwing chalk powder at each. Isn't that Diwali, or is that a different one?
No, that's a different thing.
Okay, I'm an idiot.
Diwali's.
I know as much as Dylan does.
But just watch The Office. They explain Diwali pretty well. But yeah, it's like, that is a fucking interesting choice. Plus a peacock. Like, why are you doing a peacock in all white? Like, none of that makes fucking sense.
Fucking point of a peacock is his fucking feathers. That's the whole thing about a peacock. Like, you want to do white, do a dove, do a swan. They're beautiful. But the
Yeah,
fucking point of
anything
a
but a
peacock.
goddamn peacock.
Fucking idiot. And
Yeah.
it was executed poorly. And look, I'm not a chocolate sculptor, so I don't know if I would have been able to do any better. But I felt every single time we saw him on camera depressed. I was just like, yeah,
Well, yeah, fuck, he threw one of his cakes.
Oh, yeah, and there's that part of it. Wait,
Yeah.
now, did he throw that cake because that was the one that Noel helped him put in? He was like, hey, this is our cake now. And then he was just like, fuck you, cake. I'm going to start over.
Maybe. But yeah, that fucking ruined him. Like, that moment, he was just done, and you could see it in the work, and you could see it in his face the rest of the fucking episode.
And yet he made it.
Which is insane to me. Like,
so let's talk about Nellie really quick, because she kind of deserves a little bit of attention. Her Out in Nature pie, it was something brand new that the judges had never tried. Whole bunch of poppy seeds. They're going to be testing positive for opium drug testing for weeks to come with that amount of fucking poppy in it.
Yeah, man, I want to try that shit. That looks
sounds delicious.
Good.
It looked delicious, but it was new, you know. And then she did not do very well, but you know, sort of middle of the pack of the technical, sort of bottom half. But the woman in Autumn Cake, her whole concept of this was spinach. That was her the cake flavor was spinach. But then she added avocado to the chocolate. And I can't, in my head, is that brilliant?
Yes.
Is that fucking amazing?
Yes.
Or is that a travesty? I don't know, because I've never tried it, but it's one of those things that I've never considered it. But avocados have this creamy, thick texture to them that chocolate might just put on fire.
Yeah, man. Well, the thing is, it's not just the fact that she mixed the chocolate with the avocado. It's that she did the full... Like, she did 3 notes to make a chord, which is the chocolate, avocado, and the raspberry. That is a fucking mixture made in heaven. Like, it is a perfect blending of flavors, and it just... Like, my mouth is watering right now just talking about it.
I love
so it was insane, like, seeing her do that. I'm like, fuck yeah, she's gonna fucking get this. And then she shit the bed on the cakes.
If she just like changed up the recipe to be like 2 or 3 layers rather than like I don't know 87 whatever it was, to then compressed it, she would have won hands down.
That they even fucking said that too. Yeah. That's the thing, because she did a beautiful light and airy sponge. And then put all this weight on it, and it just compressed, and it was so disheartening too. Like, I fucking knew she lost the second they set that piece down, and you got a shot of the cake itself, and it was just this beautiful creamy green, and then a dark green in the center of the sponge. It's like, fuck.
I would really love to try that. First of all, it took my adulthood to appreciate spinach, and now like I'm in. That sounds delicious and amazing. Like, for fuck's sake. Like, I'm like Popeyeing spinach from now on. It's crazy the corner I turned. What's your favorite autumn pie?
I mean, I know you're talking shit on it, but I fucking love Christian's. Like, I love the stark black.
Oh, I just meant in general, not like this show's.
Oh, my favorite autumn pie. Oh, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. It's a pumpkin, man.
Yeah.
Like, I adore pumpkin
every time.
Plus, it's such a versatile one that you can do so much with, like pumpkin pie cheesecake, pumpkin pecan, pumpkin chocolate. Like, you can mix it
on it, mix it.
Yeah. So fucking, it's perfect.
So you liked Roots of Samhain? I say Samhain. I know it's Samhain. I don't give a fuck.
See that? Okay, so I was perhaps a little on the heavily medicated side and talking when they were discussing it. Did he actually refer to it as Samhain or Samhain?
Not once. I don't think it was ever mentioned at all.
Oh.
Unless when he said it in his way of saying it, which is like, in which case I didn't understand.
I believe that.
Because this motherfucker can't pronounce words at all. it took me like 3 beats to like catch up to what the fuck he was talking about.
Goddamn foreners trying to speak a foreign tongue.
Goddamn dare you go on a foreigner show speaking your foreigner nonsense, you foreigner fuckers. Don't you know this is America? The world is what I'm saying is America. You are all just living in it Wrong.
That's true.
Fix yourself. For fuck's sake. I want to go back to Georgie because she learned some lessons in this episode. She spiced it for herself, which you never do. You always spice for the judges because the judges are the ones judging you. You always go to the judge's taste. And then she created something that I thought was beautiful and unexpected. A trunk of a tree with a pumpkin.
Dude, I didn't see her making anything ever looking like that.
No.
Like, that was, like, honestly, if I hadn't seen the entirety of the episode, when they started judging that, I would have thought that was Samaya.
Yeah.
Like, hands down. That was fucking beautiful.
It looked great. When I just saw the chunk, I was like, oh, boy. You're going home. But then when she got everything together, I was like, all right, you did it.
Yeah, man. I mean, even Paul's like, I could see that shit in a window at a bakery.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, it was dope.
Any of these others stand out for you?
No, not really. I mean, flavor wise, like, I would have loved to have tried Jill's, especially because that was her smart ass way of trying to redeem herself from fucking up the technical.
The pocket.
And then she killed it.
Yeah.
She got it. So that was great. And yeah, it looked great too.
Yeah, it was the handshake of Samaya that really sealed the deal in this. I think if Samaya didn't get the handshake, maybe Georgie would have won. Because she did pretty damn good every other time. A little heavy on the spice first challenge, but she second in technical.
Yeah,
back with a great.
I honestly think that's the only thing that kept her from winning this round was she too heavily spiced the pumpkin pie.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to the favorite. So your favorite bake was what?
Favorite overall? Fuck, man. I'd probably have to say Georgie's tree trunk. Just, I mean, it looked great. It sounded great.
Tell you, if Christian could have done his first bake right with the pumpkin, that looked goddamn amazing to me.
Yeah,
it sounded
absolutely.
so delicious that would have been my favorite if
100%.
it was executed properly. Now that Samaya got the handshake, I want to taste this fucking miracle.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, out of everything's like Nellie's, I can understand everything but the spinach cake. Samaya's, like, I can't fathom mixing all those flavors together, much less adding the fucking cumin to a cake and it being that amazing. Like, I
fucking
desperately want to try that. Yeah,
it's probably amazing. All right, least favorite. Did you have one?
Christian's cano pie. Like,
really?
Dude, just seeing
the pumpkin.
Somebody cut into a fucking pumpkin pie and it just goes bloop.
Yeah.
I have nightmares about that kind of shit because I've done that once before and it was the most disheartening thing ever.
And that's
ruined
why
Thanksgiving.
We will never have sex because that's all I do.
Okay, that's a different kind of pie.
I'm just like,
you want a cream pie to just kind of go. Bleh. So it's fine. That's its intended purpose.
You're
pumpkin
warned.
pie, not so
You've
much.
been warned. You're just like, what the fuck? How did it get in my hair? Is the ceiling fan on? Not my fault. Yeah, my least favorite bake, I think, was I don't know. I feel like they all swung for the fences in most cases, and it was just either a minor timing issue or a minor consideration in ingredients and baking, which can also be equated to a timing issue. I think the flavors they all did were spot on. They sounded amazing.
Yeah, everything
and
sounded
challenging,
fantastic.
which is what you sort of want. We've evaluated some of these shows where we're just like hands in the air, like, what the fuck are you people doing? Like, how are you even here? But this really does seem like people who understand flavors that are doing their best to either stay, give a flavor of their heritage in the case of Nellie's, which didn't end up panning out just for technical issues, or really swinging for the fences like Samaya, who are like landing brilliantly. I don't understand it. And we're sort of at the point where we get to, this sort of final where Samaya wins Star Baker. Congratulations, she earned it.
Yeah,
Nellie
100%.
is eliminated, and I mean, it was between her and Dylan. I'm not sure. I feel like she earned it. She didn't do great. So, okay, she's on the bottom too. And Dylan is historically done really wonderful. So he's like, not this week, but like normally, he is always up there. But Nellie's attitude, I feel like that should count for something.
Right. That's
I don't
the
know.
hard part. 'Cause it's like I was rooting for her to go to the end.
Yeah. I thought it was beautiful at the end when she was like, look, I didn't think I was going to make it past week 3. So, like, all this other stuff, this is bonus. This is great. And,
Yeah.
you know, I just wanted to show my kids that, you know, you just have fun. Like, enjoy it. And you know what? If I didn't leave anyone with anything, I left them with a piece of me. And so, you know, move on, you got that. And I tell you what, she did. Like, she really did. Like, I will remember her for at least the next 4 hours.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
for sure.
Well, the crazy thing about her elimination is, and it might just be me, but I swear to God, like the hug at the end, because of course everybody always hugs at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's usually the person going home is the recipient. But it looked like everybody else was the recipient of her hugs.
Yeah.
Like, you know, usually it's, you know, like Paul going in and then the next Peter, blah, 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 blah. But no, she was just going after everybody for that. And it was like.
And
God
she was
damn,
telling
what could
them
she-
not to cry.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't the one
she was
crying.
fucking awesome.
Which
man.
just, I mean, part of that is just your upbringing. You know, she came out in Eastern Europe and she's just not that type of a person.
Yeah.
But goddamn, she is a great person. And I
Yeah,
wish there
absolutely.
was more women that were willing to be as silly and vulnerable. She talked about shit in this show that like brought me to tears, for
Dude,
fuck's sake.
talking about losing her fucking children.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, she is
and
like,
then makes a joke right after almost. Like,
she's the best.
just bounce right. Yeah, man. It's
Wonderful
a
human.
fucking shame to see her go.
Like, we don't see humans like that normally. And so, like, hats
No.
off to her. She's great. She will be missed. There will be an empty spot in the tent, but I think we got some other reviews, so we're going to have to cut this thing short. Anything else you wanted to talk about with this?
No, man, we definitely got it.
Let us know what you guys thought. What were your favorite bakes? Do you have a favorite baker? Do you think someone's going to win? Let us know in the comments below. This is the point where it all goes to shit, where we have no idea what the fuck happens, and it's
Yeah.
always a crazy shit show. So
Yeah.
let us know
definitely.
your predictions about the final 3, and we'll definitely be sharing ours next week. So have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and like it or not, evil spelled backwards is live. So get out there, be a good human if you can, and be evil.
And learn how to make a fucking pumpkin pie. God damn it.
For fuck's sake. It's 101.
Right.
And if you've never done it, do it. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, it's fucking wicked easy.